Welcome back to the 1090 podcast, where life's just a bunch of bullshit. And 90% how you respond to it.
All right.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
That felt good.
It feels right.
That's the way to start it.
Sometimes it feels like 90-10, 99 and 1.
9-1. Yeah.
I was telling Ryan we should make a spoof podcast where we make fun of ourselves and we call it 90-10. And Ryan's the podcaster and I'm the videographer guy, and we switch spots and we just act like each other.
Yes.
I think it'd be hilarious.
I love
we
that.
might
And
do
for
it.
Halloween, you guys should switch.
I'm Ryan. I have red hair.
And you be, the new black guy.
The new black.
Yeah, Ryan's black now. Well, we are doing our second event on July 25th. It's the anniversary of Kortni, Riggins, Franki, and Ryder. And so I just want to honor them and talk about them, show pictures of them, but then also try to help people in the process. And so we're doing it again. Round 2. We have Keisha this time, so it's going to be way better, Matt.
Amen to that. Yeah.
It's going to be
No
at
pressure, Keisha.
yeah,
I'm sweating now.
don't ruin it. It's going to be at West Jordan High School, which is a big deal because that's where we had the funeral. We're going to talk in the auditorium, which is, again, literally like where we had the funeral service. And then we'll walk where the caskets were rolled out, and we'll walk into the gym after me and Matt speak, and Keisha's going to do yoga.
Do we know where?
I think
figuring that out.
one of those gymnasiums in there.
Yeah, we're figuring that out.
But I think it's going to be really cool. And I think if you're going through grief, I know it will help you. So please come support us and help us trying to help other people.
Support us, but also it's not going to us, right?
Yeah, that's the other thing. So, man, I'm glad we're having this podcast. There's lots to say.
Yeah.
So 1090 podcast is now 1090 Foundation. And so all the money I make speaking for one calendar year, so July 25th through July 25th, all the money I make public speaking is going to be donated to a family in need who has lost a loved one. And then also all the money we make for the event. So if you buy a ticket, if you buy a shirt, or if you make a donation, any money we make from our event is going to go to that foundation, which will go towards helping families in grief. So I think it's a cool cause, and I know Kortni would be proud of me and proud of it, and so would Race. So I feel really good about it, and I'm excited. And I think with me speaking and Matt's abilities and Keisha's yoga abilities, I think it'd be really cool.
And also, if you're a person who's ever gone through any sort of grief, like, you know how much support you need. I know how much I needed and still need, and the best cause ever.
Yeah, it's hard to ask for help.
It's so hard.
And so this is an easy way, man. And I do think help's a two-way street. Like, I've gotten lots of help from family, friends, like, that I don't think most people would have gotten. And so I'm just trying to help people in return. And so that cycle just keeps going. But I think when one of those streets gets cut off, like if you're only helping, but you're not asking or getting help, bad things are going to start happening to you. And same thing the other way. Like if you're only asking for help, but you're never trying to help people, then I think it's going to go bad on you again. So yeah, I think it's a two-way street for sure. I think we definitely have things we can offer to help people. So
I do too.
come.
And I love what you said too. Like, I feel like it is hard to ask for help.
Yeah.
Like, and people ask too, like, what do you need? And you're like, actually, I need everything.
Yeah.
And so I don't know what to say. So I'm going to say, I don't need anything. So just to offer somebody some money, some, monetary help is so big. I feel like. Thanks, Mason, for doing this, for putting this together, letting us be a part of it.
Yeah, thank you.
No, I will say I'm good at like putting a team together. Like I need help. Like I don't know how to put an event together. You kidding me? But I think I got a good team with Ryan and Matt and you.
The dream team.
The dream team, man. And we will have food. brought to you by my mom, of course.
She's the best. The
It is.
actual best.
I'm not joking. Like, she is making the food, but it's good. Like, she's good. Love you, Mom.
Love you, Casey.
So yeah, we'll have food. We'll have it all. It's gonna be sad and awful, and it's gonna be awesome and great as well.
Ooh, that was perfect.
Yeah.
Matt?
I have a question for you guys.
Yeah. Ask away.
So I didn't really realize that West Jordan was where the funeral was until literally this morning. Like, I'm like researching stuff for some stuff I'm writing. I'm looking back into articles or whatever. And I was like, oh, the funeral was at West Jordan High School. That's where we're doing the event. Like, I literally realized that this morning. And then we started talking about it here. And I just noticed that when you bring that up, I can only imagine that there's like feels with that or thoughts or whatever. Was that intentional to want to do it there for that reason?
100%.
I figured. But like,
Well, I think part of the message is you have to face it. You have to talk about it. You have to face it. You can't, I mean,
Into the storm.
yeah, that's the whole thing. And it can be corny or whatever but I'm a believer in that.
Yeah.
Like, I think, I don't know, even the first year after the accident, I would just drive to St. George a lot. And that helped, like just doing the drive. I remember the first time I did it, it was just awful. But like the more I did it, like that helped. And then when I finally started therapy, Matt, like the first time I talked about that night, like, and to try to process it and cry about it, that helped. Like, it was terrible. I remember thinking, like, why am I doing this? This sucks. Like, I don't want to talk about it. It's worse now. But I do remember, like, leaving. It's the classic, like, weight's been lifted type of thing. Now, obviously, it comes back because grief's a life sentence. But no, like, there's these waves of breath that you feel like you can do it and carry the weight of it. And I think I feel that the most after I've cried about it or talked about it or I've had it be seen.
Do you remember the first time we went back to West Jordan and Blue was there and we were doing that
Yeah. Yeah.
scholarship?
Yeah, my mom and dad did a scholarship with West Jordan High School to honor Kortni and Race. Maybe Ryder, too.
Just Kortni and Race.
Just Kortni and Race. And so I had to go to the high school to present it.
So we were all
So
there.
I'm back in the same
And Blue,
auditorium.
but it was the first time.
that's their first time back
That
at
was
West
our.
Jordan.
And
First
Blue
time back.
was literally shaking and crying.
Oh my gosh.
And he was like holding his ear.
And he was 100% fine the whole day going there. And
then he got
we
there.
were fine the minute we left. But when we were in that room, it was a really good example of like the body keeps the score
Yes.
type of thing.
Even in a
like-
little tiny, how old was he at the time?
And he had no idea. Like, I'd ask him these questions, and he didn't know really why. But like, he did not like.
He just knew, like, I don't want to be in here. I remember
in there.
this. It was crazy. That's exactly what it was for me. Like, the body keeps the score. Like, oh, this tiny little body remembers all of the trauma of that day that we have actually disassociated in our, adult minds in this little body.
Well, no, and yeah, my therapist just taught me you gotta go at it. You gotta talk about it.
Yeah, I know. And that's
what I'm
like,
doing.
for me, it's, I often say, like, I really do wish that this wasn't the thing. Like, wouldn't it be cool, like, if you didn't have to?
Yeah.
But there's no other way. Like, I love Sadhguru, man. He talks about, if you've never heard of Inner Engineering, top 5 books I recommend to people all the time.
What is it called?
Inner Engineering.
Ooh, Inner Engineering.
Sadhguru. Amazing. This guru guy over in India, yogi, you'd love him, Keisha. But he says he has this little phrase, so simple. The only way out is through, which is just like, what? It's so deep, but like, to get out, you have to go through the thing that got you there in the first place. Maybe that's West Jordan High School. Maybe that's, I don't know, a place in your life. And I meet all these people and they sit down and they're just like in shambles and their lives are just torn up and they don't know what to do. And I'm like, well, you kind of do. You know exactly what you need to do, but it's going to suck. And you don't want to feel the suck. It's not that you don't know what to do. It's that you don't want to feel that feeling again.
And I think it's once you talk about it, it's real. Mm-hmm.
And you
now
feel
it's
it as you
real.
talk about
If
it.
you don't talk about it, it's denial. It's shut. You can just kind of like, oh, I don't know. But the minute you talk about it, now it's real. The minute you talk about it, now you caused a problem. You have an issue that you have to work on. And so it leads to action. It leads to reality. And I think that's why I didn't want to talk, is I didn't want to live that life. I didn't want that to be my life. I wanted Kortni and my kids. I want race and ride.
Want him to come back.
Yeah. And so like, I felt like if I did talk about it and I did accept it, I'm kind of giving up on them. And it feels like you're giving up, like if you accept it. And so I just felt like if I didn't talk about it, I could just kind of make it okay and the problems would go away and it'd somehow just miraculously be okay. I don't know, but that's just what
I think that's
wanted
pretty.
to do.
I think that's very natural. I think
Yeah.
that's like a human thing,
Yeah, me
right?
too.
Don't you? I mean, did you feel
Yeah.
similarly, Keisha? Like,
100%.
yeah,
Like if I can just sit here and like not accept all the realities of it, like maybe no one will hold me accountable to them being gone, and maybe they'll come back, or maybe something equally amazing will enter my life and I'll be okay, and then we can just forget that that ever happened.
And as we figure out how that's going to go out or play out, and I have all this pain, so what do we do in the meantime? Well, I'm going to drink.
Yeah, we're gonna do everything
I'm going to do all these other things to try to keep it at bay, because anything that gets close to my emotions is just going to unlock that door. So anything that's even close to that realm now, I have to avoid.
yeah.
And that was the other thing I hated. So like now I can't look at pictures of them or talk about them, because that's just going to lead to them being dead.
Yeah. Reality.
And I didn't want to accept
Do you remember
my reality.
Mason, you remember me calling you at one night? Me and Mason had a lot of moments, especially early on, where we were both freaking out and thrashing and crying and whatever else you do when you're in deep grief. But I remember calling you and being like, hey, I'm having a moment where like I feel like I'm having an anxiety attack, but also like I need to get out of my body. Do you remember that?
Not this specific phone call, no. Sorry.
Maybe not the specific one, but like
I do remember having lots of these conversations.
I need to crawl out of my body. It's not like your typical anxiety attack where your heart hurts and you feel like you might pass out, you can't breathe. It's like my skin hurts. Like I need to be out of my body and in a different realm and with the people. And you're like, oh, that's a real thing. That's something that my therapist taught me is a real thing, and I can't remember what the name is.
if only your therapist had good recall.
Probably
I
like
don't know.
denial or
It's some sort of anxiety attack that's different than that. Anyway, I remember feeling that a whole bunch and being like, how cool if you could just escape your body, like just get out of your skin and go to a different realm and be with them for a little bit and then come back. But that's not real. And that's why we're hosting this freaking event,
Yeah.
is to help it become more acceptable to talk about grief, to talk about loss,
yeah.
to make it part of your skin, our skin,
Integrate
our
it.
souls,
Yeah.
and who we are.
And I think talking about it, so it helps me accept it, and then it's just what I tell people to do. Like, you have to talk about it. So I feel like I just leading by example. Like, well, I have to keep talking about it then, because that's what I'm asking other people to do. So I feel like
Question for
I
you.
just owe it to everyone to keep talking about it.
Does Blue talk about it?
Yeah, not so much the accident. He doesn't remember a lot. Whenever I try to ask questions about that, he says he used to say like I pulled him out of the car, which obviously is not true at all. So I think he just had a lot of false memories, maybe, or I think he was just trying to say what he thought everyone wanted to hear. I don't think he remembers much of the accident. But we talk about Kortni and Riggins and Franki a lot. I mean, just yesterday, he's like, Dad, who's the oldest grandkid on Grandma Casey's side of the family? And I'm like, and I was just thinking, he's like, Franki, it's Franki. And he's just like so excited. And then, we talk about Franki for a little bit. And so things like that, we talk about them
Man.
all the time,
And like he knows Ryder. I feel like you've done
Oh,
a good
yeah.
job of
for sure.
keeping them alive to him.
Yeah, he definitely knows Ryder. I think he knows Ryder pretty well because he was older. I think that helped him. Because
And
Ryder did, I mean, he babysat him. He did a bunch of things with him.
It's cute.
So
I just wonder how much you talk about that night.
the other thing that's cute about Blue because sometimes when people are talking to me, it's just Kortni, Riggins, and Franki, or oh, I'm sorry about your wife and kids, and I'm like, well, brother and nephew too. But Blue does the same thing. He'll say, and Race and Ryder. He'll always, and I just love that. Like, yeah, like, and Race and Ryder.
Man,
So I think that you'd want to hear that one.
I
But
love him so much. He was texting me there. Did he tell you?
Blue?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's,
call. I'm like,
we
who's
got
this
him that Apple
number?
Watch, and he's been going off.
I'm like, who's this number? Because I don't ever answer if I don't know. And he goes, I'm Blue. Answer the phone.
That kid's such a stud.
So
dude.
he called back. Hey. I was like, hey, Blue. He's like, what's up?
Yeah, he's
I'm like,
gotta
hey.
work on his.
He's like, I'm going to go swimming now. I was like, you want me to come swim? He's like, yep.
Yeah, come on.
I was like, hey, you sent me a donut emoji. Do you want donuts? He's like, I like them with sprinkles.
Dude, you sent him a full box of donuts, by the way.
Then I ended up being too tired to come over.
He
and I
loved
sent
them.
I don't know, a shitload of donuts.
Yeah, he's a sugarhead. He loves donuts.
That was
Hey,
fun
bye.
when I came down to St. George and did the yoga
Oh, yeah.
with you guys.
Oh,
and
and
he
he
was
was
in
there.
there. I didn't know.
did the whole
He did the
thing?
whole. I was
Dude.
blown away.
Yeah.
I'm like turning around, like huffing and puffing, looking over at Alex, and Alex is like falling over. And I look back at Blue, and I'm like, okay, I can keep going because he's still going hard.
That kid's different.
Me and Sammy were like, okay, well, he'll probably last 5-10 minutes, and then I'll just walk out with him. Sammy can stay. Like, that's what we were prepping for. So he sits down, and I'm like, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna say one word. I'm just gonna let him sit there, and I'm just gonna do yoga. And so you start teaching. I'm doing yoga, and he's just sitting on his butt, Indian style. And then like another minute goes by, and I look over. I'm like downward dog, and I look over, and he's doing the yoga pose. I'm like, what? And then he just did it. I mean, he wouldn't do him exactly right.
Oh,
But like
yeah.
he tried. Like he was trying for
He
the whole
tried
time.
the entire 75 minutes.
It was like it was one of
And
the
he'd
cutest
be in
things.
down dog just looking at me like, what else? What
Yeah,
else?
Sammy was in
What's
front of
it?
us. I was watching Sammy, just copying, like, because I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you're like, don't copy anyone. I'm like, I'm definitely copying.
No, I say definitely copy
Oh,
everyone.
okay. And then Blue was watching me. So it was just like this cycle. Like I'm watching Sammy, Blue's watching me.
That was the cutest thing ever.
So what I heard you say was that you thought you were going to get out of doing yoga because Blue was going to quit, but you didn't.
Oh yeah.
Because
That's
so,
true. Like,
so
I
can I just make a parallel here to your life, dude?
That's
That's your
that's
fucking
my
life, man. That is like 100%.
That is truly it.
Man,
It's kind
Like
of cool.
If Blue left the yoga, like, yeah, I'm out of here.
mic drop.
Yeah.
But like I think that like that's kind of the whole, isn't that kind of the whole message of like the we is greater than me, like talk about your pain, like it's not about you. All that whole thing is kind of personified in these little anecdotal stories we see all over the place. And when you look for them, you find them. But like you go to yoga, you go to your freaking job, you go do all this other shit you don't want to do, and like it sucks. It's not fun. It's horrible. And then you're like, why keep going? And it's your kid, it's your friends,
Yeah.
it's your family, it's these people, it's these beautiful humans that are around you that are also freaking sucking at life and failing, and we just gotta stick together. And I think that's, I don't know, it's an incredible privilege and an honor to be a part of your guys' lives, and like this little footnote in what you guys create for the world, and to be included in the events and things like that. It's really remarkable to see the potential reach of what one or two or a few people can do if they just freaking stop giving a shit about what everybody else thinks and just literally help for the sole purpose of helping. People underestimate dramatically their potential influence.
Ooh.
They really do. Mm-hmm. And we get so bogged down in just how hard it is and how much it sucks.
And insecurity.
Yeah, and like what somebody's going to think, right? But when you can push through that, what's on the other side of that is so freaking cool.
Well, I think that's one of the gifts of losing a child. That's like a terrible way to phrase that, but like,
Well, how else are you supposed to say
right?
it?
But like, you lose that part of you because like when you lose a kid, like
Nothing else matters.
Why did I ever care what these people thought? Yeah, it's just the whole perspective shift. But Matt, that's why I loved you as a therapist. Is you were I probably saw 3, 4, maybe 5, but you were the first one where it wasn't how to heal this guy, how to fix this guy, how to give him the steps to get. It wasn't about that. It was just acknowledging how terrible it was. You're the first therapist to do that. Like, wow, I can't imagine that's awful. Like, let me hear about it. Like, please tell me about it. Like, that was so different than how all the other therapists were coming off. I just felt like I could be my true self. I didn't have to put on a mask. Like, I could just be sad. And then I think the other thing that you really helped me with is just the coexisting of parts and emotions, and you telling me, because I was just feeling conflicted. I just felt like every time I'm happy, I'm dishonoring them. Like, I'm shitting all over them. Like, how can I be happy? Like, I should just be miserable. And you just kind of telling me, like, Mace, don't worry, you're gonna be miserable your whole life. Like, you're good. Like, you're good.
Just wisdom for days.
You're screwed. You're screwed. You're gonna be sad because it's sad.
Yeah.
But you can and you deserve and you will be happy. Like, that's also fair. And obviously the best way to get someone to realize that is you ask, does Kortni want me to be happy? Does Riggins? And obviously they all want me to be happy, but it's just when it's reality and not on a TV screen or a movie, like when it's you and your life, it's just harder to do it. But
That's something you taught me too, Matt. Matt's my therapist too. Yeah. But that's something you taught me too, which is like this trauma reignited a trauma that was already there. Behaviors and patterns that have already been there from the beginning of whatever you needed to keep you safe.
Yeah, you've been fucked up from the get-go, Keith. At least I had 30 years. Like, I had good life.
And that's always been there. Is that new? And you'd be like, is that new? And I'm like, oh, I guess that's not really new. But it feels more intensified now. And you helped me really realize, like, oh, that's not new. It's just a pattern that feels really intense now because new trauma has, entered my life. Now I feel real fucked up. Mm-hmm. And I don't know how to, help me.
Yeah. And that dysfunction that shows up in people's lives after big events like this, that's been there forever, just highlights how dysfunctional these coping skills that we needed. We had to have them, right? Like there's these moments in most people's lives where you just have this need. You needed somebody to show up. I needed my dad there, my mom there, my friend. I needed somebody, but I didn't, and I was just alone. And so I did the best I could in that moment, and I came up with this idea, and it was the best I could do, and it really wasn't that great of an idea, and I've been doing that every day of my life, believing that, telling myself that every day of my life for freaking 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years.
Yes, help me break a pattern.
And so you see it for what it is, and you look at it, and you're like, oh shit, that does not work at all. I've been doing this for 30 years? Okay, all right. And then the part that's been doing this for 30 years goes, we can't do anything different. We have to do this. If we don't do this, we're going to freaking die. That's literally what these parts believe. Their major function is to make sure that we don't die.
Yeah, they're there to protect you.
They don't want you to die. Mm-hmm. And so you integrate with the parts and you say, well, guess what, man? So what? We're going to die. Yep. Now what? Now the parts have nothing. They have no foundation. Because if we don't care about, so everybody dies, or we're going to lose people, or
maybe you have a part that wants to die.
Yeah,
we should just die.
Yes.
Right.
Let's kill ourselves. Yeah.
Right, for sure. And so you just kind of get you integrate with these parts and kind of help them understand, listen, it's not about avoiding anything. It's about creating something. What do we want to create for ourselves in our lives? Because most of our behavior is just to try not to feel something. To try to just make that thing that sucks, just make it go away for a minute. But when you lean into the suck of it, you come out on the other side and you begin to create something cool. This is what you do with the podcast. This is what you do with your yoga. This is what I try to do with my, I don't know, whatever the hell I do, therapy.
And you definitely do.
Whatever I do, right? My thing. And it makes meaning out of all that freaking crap. Mm. And it's cool to do. And so I'm hoping.
You're good at what you do. You're good.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. And I really think that people who come to this event, I think they're gonna get. I think that the three stooges. I don't know what should we call it. The three musketeers.
Stooges.
I like stooges.
I think we can create a really cool environment in a very short period of time,
Yeah.
and people can come in and leave different. And I think that people who come, like, I would say, I don't know if you should be intimidated like a lot, but maybe a little. Like, we're gonna push some people.
It's gonna be hard. Like I'm gonna say some honest things that
We're
are
gonna
hard
get
to
you to
hear
think.
for me and some people. And
I really like what you just said. Don't be intimidated a lot, but a little.
Yeah, like
Because the shit that's intimidating, that's the shit that makes you grow the most. So be intimidated a little and pay for it
yeah.
and come and fucking grow.
Yeah, exactly. Because I think too, like a lot of people, because we're gonna do yoga at the event, and I think a lot of people listening or who are interested are probably gonna be like, I don't know about.
I like it all. I could sit and listen, but I don't want to move.
yeah, let's walk them through the event. So
Yeah.
they kind of know what's going on because
Go for it,
we
yeah.
do end with Keisha doing yoga. But okay, so I'm gonna start. I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna talk about the night of, talk about my family like I always do. But I'm also gonna talk about kind of the therapy that we used, IFS therapy.
IFS, do you want to break that down for the person who doesn't know what that is?
Internal family systems
There you
model.
go. Yeah.
Ding ding ding.
And he kind of takes IFS therapy. What's his name? Matt?
Schwartz.
Yeah, the Schwartz. Dick,
Best name.
is it Dick Schwartz?
Dick Schwartz.
Yeah.
What a cool name, right? Dr.
is.
Dick Schwartz. Can you
Dick
beat that?
Schwartz.
He's the man too, dude. This guy is like in the world of therapy.
Oh, yeah.
He's like a freaking icon.
Dude, he's helped
incredible.
with you and him. Anyway. So I'm going to kind of introduce No Bad Parts and even do parts work in front of everyone. I'm going to call people up as parts and we'll walk through it. And then after I speak, Matt's going to kind of give you like the smart, what's a good way to phrase this?
The science.
Like the scientific.
There'll be sciencey stuff, but what I'm going to try to do, well, I'm not going to try. Here's what we're going to do. Right? Says Yoda. No try, only do. We're going to do this. You're going to
Do this. We will.
We will.
What you mean?
We will. We will. You're going to walk, if you come to this thing, you're going to walk away with a knowledge of how to integrate your soul, yourself, with a part of you. And how to help this part of you that exists, how to help this part of you be more integrated with what your soul needs and what it wants.
It's your
what it
mind,
desires for
body, soul connection.
you. Yes.
As
Yes.
cheesy and cliche.
But the cliches are cliche for a reason. Well said.
Mind,
Yeah.
body, soul connection.
Yes.
You'll feel it.
So me and Matt are going to speak in the auditorium at West Jordan High, which is where we had the funeral service for our family. So I think that'll be really cool and powerful and, like you said, Matt, kind of scary. And then the path that the coffins were rolled, we're going to walk that path into the gym.
So a hallway, like a
Hallway. Sorry, yeah,
Hallway path, same.
And then we walk into the gym and do yoga with Keisha. Now, if you're in a wheelchair, if you can't, that's fine. Like, you don't have to do yoga. You can just sit there, meditate. What else? They
Yeah,
can
any and
just
everybody.
be relaxing. But we
Yeah.
want you to be a part of the group. We thought about doing like breaking it up into different groups. Like, well, maybe some could draw, some could. And I really like the idea of just doing one group. I think it's really cool and powerful. But you can do zero yoga. You can show up in a suit and tie. You can show up in jeans. You can show up in a dress. You can stand and watch, sit and watch. You can do however you want to do it. I don't want people to think like, oh, I don't want to buy yoga pants and stand on my head. Like I might fall over. Like, no, you don't
I
have
don't
to do.
have a yoga mat. I can't
Yeah.
do a handstand.
If you don't have a yoga mat, totally fine. Are we providing yoga mats?
I think we're working on
We're
it.
working on providing them posture.
Hopefully, if you have a yoga mat, you bring it.
Bring a yoga mat. I think we'll have. Yeah,
Or don't bring a yoga mat. Just like I was saying, you don't even need to bring
Yeah.
one. You
We'll
can
have-
burn your yoga
I think
mat.
we'll have
Yeah.
some there.
We will
Sure.
have it.
Yeah.
Bring a chair. Don't bring a chair. Like we'll make sure you're comfortable.
Well, what was the thing you were saying earlier before we were talking about how the mind doesn't? What we were saying about when you like? Yeah, do you remember?
What I was saying is like it's going to be accommodable to everybody.
Everybody.
Well, you were saying something like the
No pun
mind.
intended.
doesn't know
Oh yeah.
the difference.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So even if you just sit there and meditate and breathe and listen to the words and listen to the music and just soak it up, your mind can't decipher whether it's actually happening. Your nervous system, it feels the same. Of whether it's you thinking it in your mind or whether it's actually happening, it's the same effect. So come in whatever body you're in, whatever shape you're in, however insecure you are, especially if you're insecure, come
Yeah.
Love that.
and just feel it and move it and let energy move through you. And that might sound woo-woo or cliche or whatever, but it's real.
No, I honestly think it's really cool what we're trying to do. So I introduce the parts. Matt will explain it a little bit better and help you guys find a part of you. And then Keisha will kind of drive it home in the last stage with the yoga, letting that part be heard and seen. And that's just something that's really helped me. Like once Matt showed me the parts idea, I could start talking to myself. I could start making sense of my own thoughts instead of just having all these conflicting things that contradict each other and not even, because the other thing when you lose everyone that you love is you just don't trust yourself. Like I was 100% sure I was in love with Kortni for the rest of my life, and she's the only girl I was ever going to love. We were going to grow old. We were going to have grandkids. Like, I was 100% sure of all of that. And now that that's gone, and the way it happened, like sandstorm, like healthy people, no alcohol, no drugs, great people, gone. And so I think my body and my mind and my spirit just has a real, like that sticks with me more than I realize sometimes. Like just the suddenness of that loss and my world just being blown up, like not a good feeling to carry around day to day.
This feels like a good segue. Can I tell you guys like an experience I had
Yeah.
on the way here?
Yeah.
So I had to drive from St. George. It's 4 hours to Salt Lake, where we're in the podcast studio here in Ryan's house, which feels amazing, by the way. And remember that time where you told me like you had the moment where you had a series of songs?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so that happened to me on the way here. I usually, as I pass the crosses, I go to my shuffle on my Spotify, which I have like 5,000 songs saved. And I just like shuffle, like, hey, Race, like, I'm about to pass the crosses. I'm going to go 4 + 1, which is 41. I'm going to 5 songs, like, inspire me. So I did that. And it was a song that I didn't really think was important, but it was Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar, which I just went to his concert. So I was like, okay, Not Like Us. And I kind of just sat there like, oh, he doesn't do it anymore. Like, Race doesn't come to me anymore. It's been almost 4 years. Like, he's over it. So I just sat there. And then the next song was Lost. So it was Not Like Us, Lost. And then I was like, okay, by Dermot Kennedy. And then the next song was Everything All at Once. They're not like us. You lost everything all at once. So then I was listening.
Like, wow, okay.
And then I was like, oh, what's going to come next? And it was Remember When by Alan Jackson. Great country song, which it's all over the board. But it was like, they're not like us. You lost everything all at once. Remember When. The next song was Simple Things by Teddy Swims. So they're not like us. You lost everything all at once. Remember when it was the simple things that mattered. Is how I took it.
That's wow.
And it was a series of like, oh, like, and I had to be fully present to even recognize that series of songs was coming together for me. And it was They're Not Like Us that I was like so disappointed. And then the next song was Lost, which is the last concert Racing I ever went to. So I'm like, oh, maybe he's here. And the next song was Everything All at Once, which I don't ever listen to. But then I was like, oh, they're talking to me.
Wow.
That's
really
So cool. And then I remember like this happened to Mason, so I'm like paying attention now.
Yeah, and the same thing. Like I didn't catch it at first. It was like the third song, and I'm like, wait a minute. And I went back and rewinded it. I'm like, what? And Rand was with me. I don't know if he remembers, but
I forgot Ren was with you.
yeah, he was with me. Yeah, it's those moments are so cool.
And they're real, and it makes your heart beat fast. and it makes your skin tremble, and it feels woo-woo like some people on this are gonna be like, okay, like cool, like you read deep into that, and I'm like, no, like that was, I like specifically asked out loud, like, Grace, I like need your help to know what to say on Mason's podcast to make me feel like I'm not an imposter. Can you help me feel relevant? And then he showed up in that sequence, but I had to be fully present in order to hear it, to receive it. And it felt really cool. And I was
Yeah,
excited
that
to
is
share
cool.
with you guys.
Yeah, you had to share that one.
That's really cool.
But I think it can really help you guys, like finding this part, learning to talk about and finding different parts inside you and learning how to communicate with these parts. So we're calling it Parts of Us because we all have these parts of grief. And I think, Matt, you got anything else to say to make this sound really good or what? Like,
Yeah. Wrap it up. Put a bow on it.
Why not? Right? Like,
Yeah.
I know we kind of have to like do this song and dance thing around like, well, it's kind of woo. So, you know, I mean, like, I've heard you say that a couple times. I say that all the time, like kind of excusing like some of our out there stuff, beliefs. But like, why freaking not? Like, why not believe that race is talking to us through freaking songs? Why not take a risk? Why not? Like, here's why not. Because you miss it. You miss this whole really freaking cool thing called the moment that is always there for you. It's always ready for us to experience. And so why not take a little bit of risk and try something different?
Ooh.
and I think, I mean, you always talk about life's about creating. Like, you got to create something. And so I think it's beautiful that we're trying to create something great out of something awful. I think that's one of the coolest versions of creating anything is it's awful. Like, okay, can we make something good come from it? Like, I love that mindset a lot. And I think you and Keisha are people that have really helped me find that mindset. I mean, Keisha, God, our relationship is so weird because, like, really, I mean, our whole family's just gotten fucked up by it. Like, let's not, like, it's not good. Like, so our whole family's suffering, but I do think me and you have had that special connection of, like, it was our families in there together. How close we were before the accident. How good we had it before the accident. And then Carly moves down. Like, I'm sure you think this too, but, like, have you ever thought, like, wow, Kortni and Race don't die. Ryder, Riggins, and Franki are growing up. Carly moves down. We're all just living in St. George. I'm just running Nets on Fire. Like, we're so close to having that. And, like, and as I'm speaking, like, this is a form of denial. Like, I'm fantasizing about what should be and not being in the moment of reality. And that's how easy it is. Like, that's how common denial is. Like, we're just in denial still. Because I have those thoughts all the time and I get mad. And then I don't know how to communicate that with Sammy. Because I don't want her to feel like complete shit.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you just wish I wasn't here then? Well, like, no, like, I love you more than anything, Sammy. But, like, yeah, like, I wish they were, like, so how do I explain that to the person I'm in love with? How do I navigate that the rest of my life? Because I need to say it. I need to express it. Because the fake, phony mask that I put on gets heavy, and then I get mad that I ever put it on. Especially when people are like, "You're so vulnerable." Well, like, no, I'm not. I'm giving you the PG version. Like, this, you think this? It's much worse than this. This is the edited. Like, Mom, this is the edited podcast version. For fuck's sake! Like, what are we talking about? Like.
I love that you said that.
Yeah, so I just, I don't know, I'm just rambling now, but.
I love that you said the vulnerable part because like people message me that a lot on social media. Like, you're so vulnerable. Like, I connect to you, and I'm like, oh, but there's so much more.
Yeah.
Like, there's that's just the PG version that you guys are getting, and damn.
Yeah.
But our connection is special.
Yeah, I'm like, what was I even talking about at the beginning? But, like, I do feel, like, we don't text. Like, if you went through our text, like, oh, you guys haven't texted each other in 5 days. Like, yeah, but, like, I don't know. Not that type of relationship. I feel like a lot of it is just,
Felt
yeah, we both
understood.
know it, and we do message each other and we say something where the other one's always like, Yeah, I know what you mean. And I think that's like,
2 words, and it's like,
I think that's what I love about it is and obviously I don't, it's still different. Your story is still different than mine. So I want to respect that, but it's the closest person to knowing what it's like to go through what I'm going through.
yeah. Yeah.
So I love you, and man, I
freaking love you.
it's just hard to say because
It's
but like, I just want to, like, I do get mad at myself. Like, I should help Ran and Faith and Keisha more. Like, that's what race. But there's other parts of me that don't have the energy, or I think they're mad at me, and there's just so many other parts of me that make it hard.
Oh, should we unpack the mad at me
to do. Yeah, I just like if
You
I
heard
would
that too?
Should we unpack the mad at me?
like if I would have gone, you and Ryder wouldn't, or Race and Ryder wouldn't have been in the car. And it's
There's
just
no way.
it's just simple as that.
Any planet that they would be mad at you. In fact, anytime I bring up Mason, my kids like a moth to a flame.
Yeah.
Like adore you. You're the closest thing to their daddy that they have. You look like him. You talk.
I was telling Ryan, I'm like, me and Race were like, we were talking about siblings. I'm like, me and Race were the most alike. Like we were.
Yeah, and you look you know. And sometimes you look like Sage, and so, but even Faith was like, last time you were at our house, she's like, I would glance over at Mason sometimes and think it was Daddy.
Yeah.
Like, and then it would make my heart beat fast, and I'm like, that's a real freaking thing. Like, you were the closest thing to their daddy they have, and they, like, you coming to Rand's track meets? Are you kidding me? Like, nothing more special for them. And that's, I mean, no pressure.
Man, the track meet is just another like so happy, but then like Race should be here, right? Like it's
the duality.
The duality, like they can coexist, but
I'm
doesn't
pissed.
mean it's easy.
I was like recording Rand in his 100-meter, like shaking, trying to record it, like trying to breathe, and like tears coming down my face. Like Ray should be here, you know. Like, and also trying to imagine. I wonder if you did this with Blue, like trying to imagine, like what would Court be doing right now? Like what would Race be doing in this moment?
I think,
and it's intense.
Do you ever think like if I died and Race lived, like what would Race be doing? Like I think about that too. Or like what would Kortni be doing?
Switch.
Or what if like Ryder just died? What if just Ryder died?
Man.
Or what if just Franki? Like I think about that. Like what would that even feel like? Because I only just know the feeling of all of them. I don't really know what it's like to just lose a daughter. Like I would like to know.
Like how you and Court.
But it's hard to. Like, is that feeling of me mourning over Franki, it's just tied with all, I can't.
That's a good question. Like, is there some sort of comfort in knowing that Court and Franki are together? And
but then I also think it's bullshit. And I hate it when people are like, they're together. And like, no, like, Kortni should be raising Franki here. She doesn't get to do that. Yeah. Like, you're just assuming they're doing hopscotch in heaven together. Like, they're not sad. Like, Kortni would be crying in heaven right now because she's not with me and Blue.
Yep.
So like that doesn't make any sense to me.
It doesn't feel comforting.
I've had patients in my office quote you saying that as one of the most like comforting things they've ever heard in their entire life.
Of what?
Really?
That thing you just said.
Like
it's not comforting.
That people come to that you can't silver lining it.
Yeah.
They're gone.
Yeah.
Like people come up and be like, well, you know, maybe they're upstairs doing hopscotch. No, she's crying.
Yeah.
She wants to be here. Obviously, that's where she'd want to be. And people hear that. You say that because so many people listen to your podcast now. And like, if I got a patient in the door, I'm like, hey, check out this podcast immediately. And they come back and like, oh my gosh, I had no idea. And it resonates on such this massive level because like, I think the gift that you have this as well is you can so eloquently explain what it is you're experiencing in an unfiltered, really raw way that it resonates so authentically that people who are open to that resonance can feel it. And then they don't feel alone in their pain. And I know that fucking sucks for you because you're like this suffering
in the
thing, but like the other sufferers resonate with that so profoundly, dude. I don't know what else to do, right? Like I say this all the time. I'll try not to get choked up, but I probably will anyways. Because there's just like there's so much freaking suffering, dude. Like just that's all I hear every day. And to know that like there are people like you guys who are willing to talk about that to help alleviate the suffering of others, even though it fucking hurts. I think that's probably one of the most, this is a loosely used term, but heroic things that a human being can do. And, back to why not? We can't change that they're gone. And you can wrestle with it and bargain with it and fantasize about it and wish it were different. But in the end, after you get done doing all that, we all know where you're going to end up. Right back here in that moment going, what do I do now? Why not turn it into something that alleviates the suffering of others? And the fact that you guys continue to do that is literally one of the most inspiring things to witness from me.
Wow.
And so I think that's just a small way of saying thank you for not being a selfish prick and suffering alone. And suffering for the whole world to see, which we don't do anymore.
Which people don't do.
No, because what is social media? You go on social media, you go on freaking all this stuff. Life is great. Look at my food. Look at my freaking trip to wherever the heck. Like,
or my life sucks. Like my drink spilled, and you're like, your life doesn't fucking suck.
No,
your drink spilled.
We just need a big, healthy dose of authenticity in the world, and I think what's being provided here is that. And it's probably hard to hear. I know people tell me all the time, like, "Oh, you do so much good in the world," and like the voices in the back of my head, my parts are like, "Nah, you're a fraud." Like, you really don't.
This person doesn't know you. They
really knew. Who
don't be fooled by this person.
Yeah. So I'm sure you got some of that going on.
Yeah.
But
so Matt, when you have like a fraud thought, do you you're very conscious of that and you work through it in the moment?
Not always.
Okay.
A lot of times I'll tell that guy to shut up. I don't have time for you right now.
Yeah, I feel like I do that too.
Oh, I think as you really start to dive into the part stuff, you realize that that's the main response to these parts.
Is take it later.
Leave me alone.
Yeah.
I don't. I'm just gonna push you over there in the corner. And
I'll be back.
My mom says I
get
shouldn't talk
later.
to you.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll get to that. We'll get to you later. But then you realize what we're actually doing to these parts is we're doing the thing that happened when they were first born. We're doing it again. We're leaving them in the dark alone.
And later's a
We're
liar.
exiling them.
Later's a liar.
Later's a liar.
Because when are you going to come back to that? There's never going to be a moment where you're like, oh, let's go back to that sad ass moment where, no, that moment doesn't come back until it comes back. And then it's compacted with more trauma and it's more intensified. And you're like, oh, shit, I knew this was here. And how the fuck do I handle it?
The classic buffalo and cow analogy now. Like,
There you go.
The storm's way worse now.
Now it's way worse. And how do we go harder into it?
So at my best, the fraud part will show up and I'll say, all right, man. What do you need me to hear? You suck. You're full of shit. You're a liar. What you're saying is not true and you know it. And I'll be like, oh, thanks, man. So let's unpack this for just a second. Why do you tell me this? How are you trying to protect me? Because if you say the wrong thing and they find out, they're going to leave you. They're going to know that you're a fraud, and then you'll be abandoned. Oh, now it all makes sense. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate you trying to protect me. Here's the deal, man. Reality of the situation is I don't know for sure half the stuff I say, but I'm genuinely just trying to help people. And maybe if I were more transparent about the things that I say, do you think that that would be beneficial? Do you think that that would help us feel less like a fraud? Part goes, yeah, that's actually a great idea. All right. Thanks for helping me out, man.
Wait, let me break down the parts.
Wait, hold on. I have things to say too.
Yeah. Because are you hearing the part in your head? Like,
I've talked to this part of me.
because most people don't trust that what they hear in their head is true.
Right.
So how do you help them conceptualize?
So this part of me is very like when you really dive down into the parts thing, you understand that they are little individual personalities, elements of your ego. And so this part of me that is my fraud part, right? This part of me actually has a name. His name is Will. And Will is this guy who is full of willpower and wants everything to be just right all the time and drives me to do all of the good things and be the best that I can and be impeccable with my word, because we read that in 4 Agreements. And if we don't do the thing that it says in 4 Agreements that we tell everybody else to do, then you're a fraud.
And maybe explain to the listener that you named Will.
Right. Will's the part. Well, like he named himself to me when I listened to him and asked him what his name was. He told me his name was Will.
How old is he?
Interesting.
Will is
Does he
like
have-
15.
They have ages too.
They have ages.
Yeah, Will's like
Isn't that weird?
15, and he's got a buddy. He's actually
They
buddied
have,
up.
yeah, they have relationships with other parts.
He's aligned with his other counterpart, who is Pete, like Peter Priest did. Yeah. And he's my
I
perfectionist.
remember you
part.
telling me about Pete.
Pete's a big deal. Pete's a big deal. Pete's a fucking
So
badass.
when you were
Yeah.
going through these, you
Yeah.
felt this whatever part, and you're like, oh, that's Will, because you heard a voice in your head say, oh, that's Will.
So I know where he is in my body. Will's in my lower stomach. He's associated with a lot of shame. So I remember when I learned the chakra elements and what they carry with each one of them, it became more clear a lot of times where the parts would show up in my body, where they were associated. So like you got an ego at your solar plexus, low in your belly is shame, down in the root chakra and stuff, that's safety, right? So if your butthole like puckers, like you're literally, that energetic pulse in your body is like, oh, we're in danger, right? Shame sits at the base of your belly, and your solar plexus is all this ego stuff, right? And so you can kind of like get with these parts and be like, oh, I can see where they're. Some of them are out in the extremities and things like that. But like when we interact with the parts, right? The first thing that I ever did with you guys when we do the parts work, I'd say, okay, go into your body. Where do you feel it? Right? Do you feel close or far away? Right? Always the same thing. And then how do you feel towards this part? And we're going to kind of gauge whether or not I'm interacting with this part or another part is interacting with this part. And the more kind of like aware of the parts I become, the more I realize that they have these personalities and they really, really want me to be good and they want me to do better. And if I listen to them, they'll help me. But when I shove them away, they don't get to do their job. And so what do? They're like a little kid. They get louder and louder and louder. And what do they create in the body? They create neck pain. Maybe.
Or like someone cuts you off in traffic and you call them a shithead, or you're mad at the person who gave you your McDonald's order. Like it starts to come out, or you get addicted to pain, or whatever it is.
100%.
These parts,
They get louder and
they
louder.
don't go away. They just find a way to ruin your life
Manifest.
unconsciously, and you don't even know. You don't even know because you haven't talked to them, and you don't know
Oh, wow.
until you talk to them and find out.
Wow.
The part I wanted to say was when you were just demonstrating Matt talking to that part, that is literally my life. Like that's all I wanted to say. Like, but imagine that, but there's 6 different parts and then there's 5 different people that that's my whole life. So I'm in my head the whole time trying to stay present in the current moment with Blue and Sammy. So it's just, I think it's exhausting.
Well,
I think that's another word with grief is it's exhausting.
It's so freaking. And my question for you, if we're doing the parts and this is what we're marketing, is like, then did you know the names? Like, did they come to you? Like,
Yeah, so I only named 2 of my people, but Milo was the first part me and Matt discovered, and it's when Milo was 15, and I don't know if this is true, but Matt told me, Matt asked me, he's like, well, how old were you when you met Kortni? I'm like, 15. So I don't know if that's
a correlation.
What I've
correlated, but
learned with parts is there's no coincidence.
Yeah.
Right? Like the why not question comes up again. Like I literally, when a part shows up, and I teach this to people too, like if a part shows up, just believe them wholeheartedly, because what Schwartz teaches is that within the world of parts, which is like its own little world is the way he describes it, parts cannot lie to you. They're not allowed to. And they 100% will follow through on whatever commitment they make to you as long as you follow through on your end. They can't ever disappoint you or fail you.
Exactly. That's what I think I'm trying to bring up is like for the average person coming to our event who doesn't fully trust their intuition and they come and they're like, oh, but this might be a part of me, but actually nah. Like I have this religious, like this conditioning. I'm in this box. I don't know how to trust myself. Like I'll ask my bishop real quick if he thinks that this is a part that I should believe, but like, actually, no, this is a part of you, and trust your intuition right away. And there's no coincidence. And his name is Milo. and his name is Will, and then his name is Pete, or whatever it is, like that's a real thing. And trusting your intuition is the biggest part of it to buy into.
You got any parts, Keisha?
The parts. I have a lot of parts. So many parts.
Yeah. I've only
How
made-
old do you want to get? I'm not trying to therapist you. I just want to see what you're willing to talk about.
I'll get vulnerable.
I'm not gonna ask you any questions. I'm just gonna let you do your thing.
I was like, okay, go.
No, I'm not gonna push you anyway.
I have
But
some parts. I mean, the part that I named was Thug. Her name is Thug. I think she's 12.
You were a thug when you were 12.
Yeah. And then it goes
Makes
younger
sense,
and
right?
younger. Yeah.
what's her job?
Man, she protects me.
I have an idea
She a
of what her
beast.
job is.
Yeah.
She wants to be accepted
Probably.
And that too.
because you joined all those gangs when you were 12.
She wants to be accepted.
You were
wants to
looking
be
for
loved.
acceptance.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. To be seen. And also, she's badass. And she
Because it
should be
gets her
feared.
seen. It gets her seen when she's badass.
She my alter ego. You know?
And if she's not a badass, then this is the big question we ask the parts, right? So I could ask my will part, who drives me and gets me to do all these really hard things. What are you afraid would happen if you didn't drive me to do these hard things anymore? And he's gonna say like, well, we'd become a failure. Okay, well, and then what? Well, and then if we're a failure, man, like Brindy's gonna leave you, and like you're gonna be a horrible dad, and you're not gonna have any family anymore.
The snowball.
And
Oh,
then
man.
and then what? Well, and then we have nobody, and then we're totally alone. And then what? And then we just kill ourselves and we die.
Does it always go back to that?
All 100%
to
of the
alone?
time to some sort of abandonment, some sort of fear of being abandoned or kicked out or not involved, which is like the major shame thing, and then it inevitably ends up at death.
Oh.
They're all afraid. The ultimate thing, if you ask the and then question all the way down the line, all parts are trying to prevent the ultimate end, which is death,
Oh, interesting.
which is unpreventable. And so that's the thing that the self is educating these parts on, is that they're trying to prevent something that is unpreventable. So really, it's folly. There's no point in doing this thing if that's the end game. So let's let go of the reason why you want to do this stuff, right? Like, you want to prevent my death. Well, I can't. Can we agree we can't? Sure. So what's the thing you're doing? You're driving me so hard that I'm burned out and I can't freaking function as a father. Is that helpful? No. Okay, so we're no longer afraid that we're going to die if we don't drive ourselves into oblivion. What can you now, Will, help me to do? So guess what Will loves more than anything in the world? You will be not surprised.
Tell people.
Yoga.
Oh.
He's my yoga part. And
That's
guess when
cool.
I met him, where he showed up? At
Wow.
the very end of a yoga session during Shavasana. Weird.
Amazing.
Right? And no coincidence, right? And so this is the part that's like, hey, dude, that pain in your lower hip, like, you know what you got to do, right? Like, go stretch, go do the thing, don't forget. And now that's what his role is. His role is to help me remember to do the things that help me take care of my health, rather than just to drive me to go and work really hard and be the best performer of all time.
Oh, that's amazing. That's something that I teach in yoga a lot is like, hey, can you guys just sit there or lay down and like just listen to your body? Which I think feels a little bit foreign to most people. And like,
And
listen.
how often you have to remind people to breathe so many times, which I always and it
Isn't
like
that
me, like I forget too. Like, oh yeah, I gotta breathe.
Oh, I know.
I always think that's so weird.
Because it should be conscious. Mm-hmm. And so yesterday, even I taught like, close your eyes. And maybe you guys could do this with me. Like, close your eyes.
Okay.
And don't just breathe like that subconscious breath. Breathe that breath that like feels good. Like the inhale and the exhale that might like, and then try again.
I have to pee now.
See, isn't that weird? Now
got
all
it.
your other senses. now Mason has to pee. Now you
I
can
guess,
feel,
yeah.
and if you open your eyes, now you can feel like the areas of your body and your physical body that need attention. Because you were saying like, oh my, I think you said your hips or like wherever you're storing your energy is like, oh, I didn't even know my neck was hurting so bad until I laid here
Like
and
how
I
tight
breathed.
my jaw is.
Until I didn't notice how much I held my face so tight, or like I'm scrunching my eyebrows, or like my shoulders are up in my ears, and like you can take a full body scan of your body when you're just be still and like just listen for a second. And that's kind of foreign in today's world where it's like, I'm not gonna watch a reel unless it tells me what I need to know in 3 seconds. Like 3 seconds is all you get. So how like long do you ever take a moment to like sit there for 3 seconds before you reach for your phone or water or scratch your junk or like whatever you're doing to distract yourself out of the moment of like, oh, I'm just going to be here for 3 seconds and listen. And that
3
was
seconds
powerful.
away.
I think that's a big thing with grief. Like the culture we've built is don't sit in it.
Don't
Yes.
sit
Like
in
be
it.
happy and
Yes.
do this or oh, I love the sun.
It's God's
Get
plan.
sunlight and touch grass. Like okay, but Franki's still dead with me
Yeah.
touching this grass. But, yeah, it's good grass.
She was cute, but that's whatever. Get over it.
But like, yeah, I love, yeah, just sit in it, man. And then after
Sit in
you
it.
sit in it, it's easy. At least for me, it's easier to go be happy and not feel so much guilt. It's easier to carry the weight of it and to keep living to finish this through until I die. Like I have the strength to do that when I can admit to myself how sad and how weak I am and how awful it is and how much help I need.
Yeah, here's something really cool that happened yesterday in yoga. I like had people just lay down and what I just told you guys. It's like close your eyes and just feel for a second what's going on. We go through the entire class. And she came up after. She comes to my class a lot, but she came up after and said like, man, like she's not the type to open up and she's in therapy and she's like, I didn't think that I was able to cry and I sobbed through your whole class and now I feel connected to you and now I like what was that? I'm like, I don't know. What was that?
Probably honesty.
What was that? And me and my innocence of like, I do this is what I do for a living. And also like there's 50 other people having that same experience, but also yours is special and yours happened on purpose. And like, what was it? And also the intention for class was that you trust your own intuition. Like whatever's going on inside of you is on purpose and you already know it. And then you ask 1,000 fucking people what they think and they convince you out of what you already know, but you already know it. And I thought that was really powerful to have that mind, body, soul connection, which I think is what we're trying to help people create in this event is like, can we get you to that place where you feel vulnerable enough that you can show emotions that you didn't even know were there, that were so dormant, they've been hidden for so long, and then they just come out like, hey, we're still here. We're going to be here until you let us out.
Doing our jobs, trying to protect you, trying to keep you safe. We're going to keep freaking bugging you, knocking at you until you give us the attention we need, because the reason we exist is because we didn't have something happen for us. There's this thing, we needed it and we never got it. And I'm going to remind you of that until you give it to us because we need it.
Oof, that's powerful.
Yeah, what is it? I don't know what it is for you or you, but I know it is for me. I know exactly what it was that I didn't get.
What did you not get?
I didn't get acceptance. I had to perform. I had to be somebody that I was supposed to be. And if I wasn't him, I wasn't good enough. So I can't just be Matt. I had to be super Matt.
I feel that.
Yeah. And so what do I do for a living? I perform on a stage.
Wow.
Yeah. So in some aspects,
It's like,
in some aspects, it's worked out really well for me. But in other aspects, it's very lonely.
Yeah.
And so I have to kind of integrate, again, that word. I love the serendipity of your class being about authenticity and
That was so crazy.
and trusting your intuition, because that's like exactly what.
As Mason's talking to us before, I'm like, this is my entire class that was last
I think
night.
it's gonna be good. Yeah. So quick recap. I speak. Matt speaks. Keisha does the yoga. Food at the end.
Mason,
Out the door.
tell people who aren't yogis, because you're not a quote unquote yogi,
I don't do yoga.
that they shouldn't be intimidated to come to Keisha's yoga.
Yeah, you can honestly just sit there and not do any. You can take a nap. Don't leave though. Like don't leave. Like be a part of the group. But yeah, find a parch. Start talking to it. There's something you can do. But yeah, you don't have to do anything you don't want to do in terms of yoga.
In terms of like physical movement, you could even just sit and lay there and listen to the music.
You don't have to break one sweat.
Yeah, you don't have to break a sweat. You don't have to break a hole in your crotch of your jeans. You can just lay there and
Just chill.
I had a girl, one of my good friends yesterday. She's like, I'm coming to your class, but I'm not coming to do yoga. I just need to lay there and listen to you. I was like, sweet, that's perfect. No one will notice. And no one notices. Like, you do your thing in that corner. I'm going to do my thing in this corner. And that's why yoga's so cool is no one gives a fuck.
And people who've done yoga before who are like, I don't know, I've done it before. Like, to your credit, the way that you seamlessly bring in, like, the music is cool because like this awesome journey thing, but like how you're able to bring in like a thematic element to it and tell your own personal story along the way and connect with the participants. I've never had a yoga experience like that one class that I went to. It's really magic. It really, it's incredible.
That's where because I've only done your yoga. I've never done a different yoga class.
I've done a lot of yoga.
So like that's
a lot. And that's not what Keisha does.
That's something Sammy always tells me. She's like, you should really do a non-Keisha yoga class so you can see. And I'm like, yeah, okay.
You might be disappointed.
You should.
It sounds like it.
No. But the thing, the cool thing about yoga too, like if you use it, so we'll end with this because we're talking about yoga. Yoga is actually an evidence-based intervention for trauma recovery, specifically for persons who suffered traumas before they were able to verbalize what had happened to them. So basically younger than like 8, really younger than 6. If something happened before that, the first thing that I tell people is go to yoga religiously.
Did you just have a moment where you thought of blue in that class?
100%.
Whoa.
100%. I saw blue in that class. I was like, I hope this becomes his thing.
And
it's so valuable.
He just automatically, without just picked up on it?
Well, because talk therapy is about what? Talking. But if you weren't able to verbalize what happened to you, talk therapy is not going to help you. It has to be body-oriented therapy. And that's why yoga is literally the primary intervention that we give to people.
That's why I love what we're doing too. Like, okay, like, because talking about it is obviously my thing. Like I can't sing, I can't do yoga. I gotta talk. Okay, that's my only option. I have to fucking talk. But then Keisha, I think it's cool because like it's different, but then they're also tied together too. They work. So I think it's
what I love too is that you both talk for a living.
Yeah.
But in a very different way. Like you both speak to the soul and to the heart, but in unique ways that I feel like every single person who I've ever met needs to benefit from.
Well said.
Which is really cool. And I think that we're capping it at 100.
Yeah, 100 spots is all we're doing because the yoga can get kind of, we don't want to do anything more than 100, right?
100 fills.
But we are trying to do online. Should I mention that?
Oh,
or no?
We're going to record it, remember?
We're going to record it.
Oh yeah, so we are going to record it and then make a video of the entire thing that you can purchase later.
So if you're in South Carolina
for $10.90.
$10.99.
No, $10.90.
Oh, $10.90, sorry.
Because it's $10.90, duh. It's not the $10.99 podcast, Keisha.
$10.99.
Life's 10%, what happens to you? 99%? That doesn't make any sense, does it?
It rolled off my tongue like magic. No, but if you're in New Zealand or South Carolina or Texas or wherever you're at or England, and then you can purchase it after the fact and still, be a part of what we're doing, which is really cool.
And then again, all the proceeds donated to families in need.
We're not putting it in our pockets, even though we might want to.
Got to fight that urge, Keisha. Anything else needs to be said?
I think we've tried to end this at least 4 or 5 times, and I think this is going to be it.
Yeah, good luck editing, Ryan.
Thanks, man.
Okay, life's 10% what happens to you, and 90% you better be at our event or never talk to me again.
Bye.
No, I love you guys. Thanks for all your support. And life's 10% what happens to you, and 90% how you respond to it.